Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Night Talks with me, your host, Patrick Ramirez. And joining me on Sunday Night Talks is my good friend, Omar Carmona. Basically, what we do on Sunday Night Talks is we watch the slate of NFL games. It's week one. And we break them down. We see what we liked, what we didn't like. We give out awards, too, for the day. We're going to be doing that every Sunday night. So check it out. You watched all the games. We watched all the games. We're going to tell you what's up. Also, in addition, my regular show comes out every Thursday as well, Running It Back. I join interesting people, some friends of mine. We talk about them, and we talk about their area of expertise, a subject they're interested in, and we break it down. Every week, a new subject, a lot of fun. But this week, Sunday Night Talks starts right now, week one in the books. We had a lot of fun with this one. There were players in different kinds of uniforms. No fans still. I still enjoyed the hell out of it. Week one, Sunday Night Talks, me and Omar. Here you go. Joining me on the screen, longtime friend, Omar Carmona. Sunday night, we just took in the whole Sunday slate of week one games. NFL is back. Back to the teams, the uniforms, Al Michaels and Chris Collingwood's awkward conversations and banter. It's all back on Sunday.
It's good to be back. It really is. I mean, when you think about it, this is the first, I guess, day of normalcy since all this, quarantining and pandemic began. So it's great to be back. Really is.
It feels almost like a regular Sunday.
Almost, not much to get excited about in the college football ranks, but this is what it is.
Yeah, I think, I'm more than happy to take this in. We were talking about NFL being back, and you were talking Thursday night after the game, and you were super pumped that it was back. But it took me a while to get back into NFL. I didn't know what I was looking at Thursday night.
The
we didn't have any preseason.
The crowd makes a difference. I mean, it really, really makes a difference. It's going to be interesting to see how the season plays out, without crowds, without that home field advantage that you would normally get in Arrowhead, in Pittsburgh, in Green Bay. I think it's going to make a huge difference, and it's going to affect some games differently. But you know what? I'm just glad to be back. I don't care so much about baseball, basketball bubble. I think they made a good effort, but NFL is back. Yeah.
Well, start us off because every Sunday night, we're going to break down the day's games. But tell me, start us off. Who's your team?
My team right there. 49. Right there. There's the man right there.
Montana jersey.
Joe Montana, who I thought when he retired was the greatest player of all time. It turns out there was one more quarterback that I definitely would say clipped him in that category. But lifelong 49er fan, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, Joe Montana, Charles Haley, a great 49er dynasty with Bill Walsh, the architect of that team. And so my team is the Niners, and I bleed red and gold.
Wait, you said you thought Montana was the best player ever when he retired, meaning like you changed your thoughts? He's not.
I got to give it to Tom Brady. In my opinion, has surpassed Joe Montana. We're gonna hear. I don't think there's much of an argument. I mean, if you win that many Super Bowls,
wow, you have oddly like diehard fan perspective.
And what impresses me the most is that Tom Brady's always said that Joe Montana was his idol. And that makes me feel great. To me, Joe Montana is the greatest of all time. I mean, but out of, my heart tells me that. But it is Tom Brady. That guy, put Peyton Manning in his place. And I think Peyton Manning, talent-wise, is almost second to none.
Well, we got some good Tom Brady stuff to discuss today, too, because he played under new colors today. What were your what were your impressions of week one?
Let's start with Tom Brady. Let's start with the Saints. What's killed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in these last few years has been the turnover problem. They got rid of Jameis Winston. They let him walk out the door, and I can't say I blame them. But guess what? The turnover bug came back today. They turned the ball over. Tom Brady, 2 costly interceptions. I think they were overmatched by the Saints. Drew Brees didn't overly impress me. I think, he's also coming to that point in his career where he's got to manage the game a little more. But by far, I think that the Saints just outplayed the Buccaneers, and Tom Brady just didn't do a good job.
I thought my impressions of week one, I had three things going into week one. Number one, Cam watch. I needed to know what Cam Newton was going to do. Number two, Tampa Brady. I needed to know what was going on with Tom Brady.
Right.
And number three, QB corner. I wanted to see who sucked and who was good. Those are my 3 questions for going into the season. I mean, there was a lot of questions, but those were what I was trying to hunker down on.
No. Don't look any farther than the New York Jets, because those guys still suck. Man, they're terrible.
I didn't even keep tabs on that one. I don't even think TiVo recorded that game.
Ugh.
So our plan was we each watched a game, and then we both watched the Sunday night game to break down. Which game did you watch?
I did watch. I did play close. I mean, although I was watching my Niners on the other station, but I definitely paid close tabs on the Saints Buccaneers game.
Yeah, I watched the Pack Minnesota game, and then I kept tabs on the Bucks game. I caught the second half of that one. I watched Pack Minnesota. That one was 43-34. Pack wins. I think that was the most exciting, boring game I've watched in a long time. I don't think anything happened. There was a safety in the first half. Aaron Rodgers looked like he fell asleep a couple times. And then here's the weird thing is, we don't have crowd noise anymore. So right. You think, this is going to change sort of the home field situation. But you know what also we lose with the crowd noise is we don't have the angry home crowd booing the offense in the third quarter.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
When Minnesota throws a little pass on 3rd and 7, they don't get it. We don't have the crowd to boo them off the field anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, that was an added bonus that I thought, the crowd noise is a big factor here when the home crowd is pissed. And then I thought with Pack Minnesota, we could not have 2 different quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers looks glassy-eyed, yet he still performs. He doesn't look anyone in the eyes, and he makes it look effortless. And then on the flip side, Kirk Cousins is trying 110% and can't achieve shit.
He is, Kirk Cousins, I hate to say it, nice guy. He's just not good. He's not a good pro quarterback.
He's a nice guy. It feels like you're dumping Kirk Cousins, like you're the girl and you're dumping him. It's like you're a nice guy, but you're just not good.
I'm not a Vikings fan, but if I were to root for the Vikings, I would say that he's the one, he's our crutch. He's the one problem we have trying to win a Super Bowl. So, if I were the Vikings, I would dump him now.
Dump him week one, dump him now.
Dump him. He's not going to get any better.
I have a question coming up later that was entitled, which QB do you think is going to be bench first? But I think you already answered it.
No, I mean, and the thing is, what's Minnesota's option? I mean, I don't think they have much.
Who's their backup? Do they even have a backup?
I'll look it up right now, but I mean, that may be their only shot, but it's a terrible shot. Yeah, but if you were to ask me what quarterback deserves to be benched right now, it's Sam Darnold, and I'm sorry, he's just not your franchise quarterback. He's lost out there. But we'll come to that. Darnold.
What game did you watch? You
in the morning? I did pay it, and I know you're a Raiders fan, Patrick, and I will say that I did watch a lot of the Raiders Panthers game, and I will say I am impressed with. I've always been impressed with Derek Carr, but I think this season could be a turning point for him.
Really? Not the 3 previous seasons were turning points for him. He's taken a lot of guff. Poor guy. He says all the right things. You got to give him that. He seems like a good guy too.
Great head on his shoulders, but I think he's a leader. I do like the marriage that he and Coach Gruden have. So I'm thinking there's going to be some playoff appearances down the road.
Yeah. I should not make fun. We got to win 1-0. I don't even want to know when the last time the Raiders were 1-0.
Right.
It's gonna just make me sad. And I have, as a Raiders fan, I have reserved myself to just don't watch Raiders games because it's too much roller coaster for me.
Absolutely.
I just watch it on the ticker. I turn off text notifications and I just deal with it later.
Yep. But no, they have some talent. But when we're going to talk about it tonight, there's some talent almost everywhere in this league. I think Baltimore is going to be a tough team again to beat. I like their chances to come out of that division. I like Buffalo. Their emergence has really impressed me. And there's other teams out there that I think are going to, surprise people. I really do. I think possibly the Chargers. Obviously the Chiefs are still in it. We're talking AFC. I think the Cardinals, who beat my Niners today, are really going to turn some heads.
I was going to say that was a heartbreak extension of the Super Bowl, Cardinals Niners. Because again, the Niners had a shot and they didn't come through at the end. It's 2 heartbreaks back to back from Super Bowl to week 1.
And now all week they're going to have to deal with the question: is there a Super Bowl hangover? And that may be the case.
Oh, the Super Bowl hangover! A Super Bowl hangover, sophomore jinx. And did they peak too early? Are 3 of my favorite questions that we never ever really answer.
Absolutely.
All right, what was your game?
Well, like I told you, I watched Tampa Bay, New Orleans. New Orleans put up 34 points. The Tampa Bay defense looked weak. I want to bring you to this stat here. Drew Brees, 18 of 30, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not the same stat line.
Was that low? 160 yards.
Yeah, only 100 yards. Stat line we're seeing from Drew Brees. So it's important to to acknowledge that he's at the point in his career where he may just have to manage games now. And I think if you're going to have a game manager, who better than Drew Brees? Kamara, carried the ball 12 times for 16 yards. I mean, he's a superstar. He got in the end zone rushing once. He also caught 5 balls for 51. Also scored a rushing touchdown. So he's a superstar. But these statistics don't really blow you away. But they're really deep. They got Taysom Hill, who can come in, play quarterback, running back, receiver. They got Kamara, Latavius Murray. Catching the ball, you got Jared Cook, Michael Thomas, who went 3 for 17 today. I mean, he set the record last year for most receptions in a season, and he only got 3 today for 17 yards. So I think New Orleans is going to be tough because I think they just have so many ways to beat you.
Yeah, I forgot about that one dude who plays quarterback sometimes. He threw that kind of good third down play.
Yep.
He seems like, I wonder if he seems sort of like a relief pitcher who could be a starter on maybe 90% of the other teams.
Right.
But yeah, he's still there. I still don't know what he does. He kind of gets put in every now and again, and he throws the ball. Sometimes he runs the ball. Yeah, I'm still figuring him out. I don't know what the heck's going on with him. Every time he's in, it seems to be positive.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the ball, you got Tampa Bay, they got a ton of weapons. Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, a young receiver, like Tom Brady's Julian Edelman. You watch him. His name's Scotty Miller. He went 5 for 73 today. A good start to the whole Brady era there. O.J. Howard, Ronald Jones, Fournette, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, LaShawn McCoy, Cameron Brate, Justin Watson. I mean, these are a lot of quality players, but they just didn't, get the ball rolling. Their defense didn't stop much. So, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is going to be a tough year. I don't know how good they are yet.
Yeah, I could see them catching a little bit of momentum late in the season. I had a couple thoughts on the New Orleans Tampa Bay game. Number one, I turned it on television and it was loud. Like the crowd was loud. And first in my head I was like, wait, okay, is this one of the stadiums where people can go in, or are they pumping in the noise, or is Fox pumping in the noise? I don't know if it sounded that way on the field with the speakers, but if we're just going to pump in crowd noise, let's just go crazy with it. That's beyond a home field advantage. Let's just make all the noise we can.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Why not? That was really unusual to me. And then second thing, Tom Brady has a little gray hair. He has like gray in the temples.
I'm glad you brought that up, Patrick, because it seems like every year Tom Brady comes into the season with a new hairdo. And this year's do kind of made me – it was like a throwback to the do I had in the third grade. It just seemed like it was an $8 haircut that Tom Brady got. Not a lot of effort was put into the styling. Maybe he's at the age, he's 43. Who knows if he even cares anymore?
Yeah, last year, remember, he had black hair.
Right.
Now he has brown hair with gray in the temples.
Right.
I don't know. This is a serious concern for me. Tom Brady's letting himself go. I don't want to live in that NFL world where Tom Brady says fuck it. Where Tom Brady, you watch by week 7, if they don't have a winning record, Tom Brady's gonna have a full-on dad bod.
That's good. Well, let me ask you this: what game did you get this weekend?
Well, I went into the Pack Minnesota game. That was the one I dived into. I'll tell you which one, because it ended early and I was flipping channels, that I enjoyed was the Chargers-Bengals game.
You watched it.
Little Joe Burrow had a little fight in him.
He did. Good run. That was an impressive run. Drive.
Yeah, and he was slinging it. He was running. He had a touchdown pass get called back. What I did notice around the league was like a million drop balls. I think we have a little bit of preseason hands still.
Patrick, I think we're going to see that. I was so shocked. I shouldn't say shocked because I was kind of expecting it, but it was crazy this morning as all these, feeds were coming in, how many players had hammies and groin injuries that they were dealing with. And, that is a direct effect of all these players didn't do their normal this year because of the restrictions. They couldn't hit the gym, I'm sure, as much as they would have liked to. And so, I think we're seeing a lot of players that are going to be affected by not having that full routine in the off season. A lot of groin injuries, a lot of hamstring injuries, ankle sprains. It's just they didn't get the work in.
Yeah, I think that's expected. We're sort of jump starting the season, so we're going to have some injuries. Not too many penalties, though. I was surprised. Not too many false starts. So that surprised me a little bit. But
don't. I know it happened right before we just got on, but don't even get me started on that offensive interference that they called on Gallup with Jalen Ramsey. You can't make that call if you're a professional referee. That was a terrible call, and I think the Cowboys may have been robbed on that one.
Yeah, and the Bengals had one similar earlier in the day. Well, it's good to see our referees are in mid-season form already. So let's go Sunday night. We just finished Dallas at Rams. Here's my first thought with the Rams, because the Rams have new uniforms now. Were they going to look? Okay, you had the same reaction. Are you guys wearing sweatpants?
They look. It looked like those like corny Pro Bowl uniforms they threw out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the off gray. I didn't like the bright yellow. I think that they were better off in their old throwback, blue and gold. I mean, that was just a classic look for them. I love the '80s homage, if you will, that they had the last few years, but they just dumped that, and I could see why Eric Dickerson was really upset with that franchise. Terrible look.
The uniforms in general in the NFL drive me crazy because we change them too often. It takes me about 3 weeks to figure out who's who in the league.
Right.
And then I'll watch a Thursday night game and they're in different uniforms. So my thought would be either we stick with one uniform for 10 years or whatever, or change the uniforms every year, but you only have one uniform for the year. That's it. You get one uniform, but you can change it every year. That's my thought, because I have to catch up every year. And then this brings me to my next thought. The Cowboys had this. The Rams had this. They each had a little patch on their uniform, and the Rams one said, LA Rams. Like, we know who you are. Is anybody like, what team are you again? On the Rams. I better put a patch on there. And the Cowboys had one too, but that was their helmet. And it said like, it was like an established in whatever, 1960
Right.
I was like, did we need the patch? Was it necessary?
Stupid. It was stupid.
I didn't get that part. I didn't get that part of the uniform. Here's my next question Sunday night, because I noticed all the coaches and the staff, we have a lot of mask wearing on the sideline. And then Sean McVay, he's got his mask on and he has his play sheet and his mouth is covered, but he still instinctually covers his mouth with the play sheet too, to call it in so no one can read his lips.
Sean McVay gets a pass because he's been doing that for a long time now.
Right. It's just so instinctual. It's like my mouth is covered, but I better double up.
Right.
With the coverage.
But you know what? He's a great young coach. He's already gone very far in this league, and he's already coached in a Super Bowl. That young, but he gets a pass there. The flop of the week was definitely Andy Reid's face shield from Thursday night.
I was going to say that was the only visor in the league. He was the only visor.
After all the other coaches, I think it was John Harbaugh that took a good look at that and said that he wasn't going to do it. And I can't blame him. It looked ridiculous, all that fog and all that steam that he was blowing up there. He looked like a fool.
I thought he should just wear another helmet. just wear like wear the punter's helmet or something.
Right.
Yeah, he went up with a hard visor. I didn't see that go. Well, how about this? If you're on the sideline, because I noticed there's a few mask options. What mask would you go with? It seems like there's a traditional ear loop one, and then a lot of them are wearing like that neck gaiter scarf.
I would do the gaiter.
Why? Why that one?
I just think it looks a lot cooler. I mean, they obviously don't like it because it wasn't as popular this week. But I think when it comes to aesthetics and the way it looks, I would go with the gaiter.
Going with the neck gaiter.
Yeah.
It seems like it has more function, especially when we get to the winter months. It might have a dual purpose of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seems fun. Seems like a fun piece, and a lot of players go with that too. Well, the Dallas game ended up quietly being a good game.
Yeah, it was close. It went down to the last possession. I don't agree with Coach McCarthy's call. Not kicking that field goal. I believe it was in the third quarter. I mean, you got to go for the tie. You're on the road. Points
right.
don't.
Inexplicable. Third quarter, you're in field goal range, and you go for it on fourth and a little bit.
You're playing a team that has Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, a good linebackers unit. I think you just got to go for the points.
Yeah, kind of like just put them in the bank. Just put the points in the bank. Somehow we outthought ourselves with percentages and fourth downs and onside kicks. It's the same with my uniform theory. Either go for every fourth down in the game, or just play the numbers.
Right.
They outthought themselves on that one. Also, what I miss is the Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth awkward banter. I don't know if these guys like each other or not, or this is just how they talk. They can't get off the ground with any conversations. It's really awkward, and I love it.
It's just always going to be awkward with them, but you know what? They really are the premier duo in the league. Of course, I respect everything that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have done. You know, Tony Romo has done a lot of great things, but I mean, by far, you know, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, great team.
Those are your guys? Those are your number one?
No. To me personally, my number one is Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. But you know, I just think that having Troy Aikman is a genius. He's an absolute genius. So I just love hearing him. And, you know, having Hall of Fame credentials makes it even better, I think. And believe me, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but he really has grown on me.
You know who's creeping up on me and my favorite announcers is that Kevin Harvick guy. He just seems genuinely excited to call football games.
Right.
I like that. Yeah. He's creeping up for me. Okay, let's get on to the call of the game, the pass interference. You saw it as a no call? Or
you don't make that call. That, you know, obviously Jalen Ramsey did a really good job selling that call, but even I don't even care what your angle is. If you look, you know, Jalen Ramsey kind of just like, you know, threw his head back.
Big time sell. Yeah.
And it was a huge sell, but the referee bought it. But even when he were to throw his head back, that was even a delayed reaction. I mean, it was a bad sell. It wasn't even a good sell. Mm-hmm. So I really think that they really dropped the ball on that one.
Bad call. Yeah. What was the call last year where the Cowboys were in a game and it was like a phantom hold, or it was tripping. There was a weird tripping call last year with the Cowboys game.
Right.
So it seems like something always finds them to fail in the crucial moments. I felt bad for him. Yeah. My last thought on the game is, God damn it, those Applebee's commercials are the best. We all make fun of Applebee's like it's a dumb restaurant, it's trendy, it's a franchise. God damn it, they make some good commercials. If you watch Applebee's commercial, you'll be like, I need those ribs. It's Sunday night. I already ate dinner, but I'm not going to go to sleep for a little bit. I want some food. And
you know what? If I were in Applebee's right now, I would definitely order a Brutus and a chicken fried steak with some mashers.
You have a specific order for Applebee's, really?
Well, you know, and I haven't been to Applebee's, I think, in years. Okay. But my when I was in college, it was definitely my go-to place. You know, I would have a cheese sticks. I really would enjoy the chicken fried steak, the mashers. It's not a bad place. And of course, a tall Brutus, you know, it's called a Brutus. I mean, Brutus.
You get into that. Yeah.
I can get into that. So that's good.
Yeah, we all make fun of it. Applebee's to me is like disco music. We all make fun of disco music. Like, oh, it's dumb, it's lame. Look at those pants. Disco music, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of talent in disco music. The horns, the vocals, the harmonies. We all make fun of disco music, but if Casey and the Sunshine Band comes on, God damn it, you listen to that song and you enjoy it.
Very true.
Beyond that, I have no thoughts on the matter. Let's move on to Goodell Corner. You and I get to have a conversation with Roger Goodell every week, and we get to tell him our raw thoughts. So mine this week is I was noticing, you know, there's no fans in the stadium. So, and they put some banners over the seats, you know, it says LA Rams, it says whatever. Why not sell all that ad space with the banners, with stuff like that? Really make it, you know, fill it up with stuff you can sell. And in my second conversation with Goodell is, you know how we can't have trick-or-treating this year? Let's just have it in the stadium. Have them roaming the stands, and they can do the trick-or-treating there. Even during the game, I think that'd be fun.
Well, you know, I think the problem is you're going to have that, like, you know, that asshole from, like, Barstool Sports who's been harassing Goodell. And, you know, it's the same type of guy that when Glendale, I think what are they? South University. What's the stadium out in Glendale? What are who has the sponsorship?
The sponsorship of it
it's that university. It's
University of Phoenix.
Is it the University of Phoenix? There was something like that. But you know, when it was up for bid, the guys that won that bid initially were the guy they had Pink Taco. I mean, so No, the reason why you can't sell everything is because there's always that one jerk off that's going to want to do something really inappropriate that the NFL is going to just like have to say no to. And so I think that's the reason why Goodell would I think
You think he'd kill my idea?
Yeah, just kill it. You just screw it. I mean, if you want to name a stadium the Pink Taco, I mean, it's funny, haha, but it's not realistic. Go show up yourself.
Yeah. My ad for Emporium store called Asians Are Us would not go over well at all. It would nix that. Certain markets.
Maybe not now. Let's look at it next year.
Put a pin in it? Okay. All right. What's your talk with Goodell?
My talk with Goodell would be, I say, college football is obviously a bust this year. I approach the networks and let's do a Thursday night game, a Friday night game, a Saturday night game, and Sunday, Monday. Let's, just take over the world and let's just make it happen now. I really think the NCAA is in some deep trouble, given the pandemic. As you know, Patrick, I'm an attorney. I'm not into, I don't represent any big time athletes, but if I were representing
not yet.
an athlete, well, let's see if you want to lace them up again, and maybe you'll give me a shot. But
oh yeah, I saw Necessary Roughness. I got a semester in me. I go back to City College.
The Fighting Armadillos, but. My thought is this. Go on ahead and take over the world. If I'm representing a young kid, I'm going to say, no, you're not going to play. You're not going to lace them up. We got too much to lose. Screw it. I don't care about the Sugar Bowl. I don't care about the Fiesta Bowl. I care about your next big contract. So I would drop out, and I'm not going to fault players anymore for dropping out. I think, you're an El Paso guy. I remember a few years back when Christian McCaffrey didn't want to play in the Sun Bowl, and I'm like, I thought it sucked, but absolutely not. You're not gonna, you're not gonna rip a knee, to play in the Sun Bowl.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, it's completely understandable. They've showcased their skills. Unless they need another opportunity to showcase skills, then you play. If not, yeah, you don't risk your body. You've already got too much an investment on the line there.
Absolutely.
I think it's a smart move. There's no bonus for winning the FedEx Bowl. There's
right. Absolutely.
No incentive. I wonder if one day we're going to eliminate the NCAA, like you said, but we'll have like a minor league of football, like a NBA D-League sort of thing where these guys are getting paid. It's their own games. And then they draw talent from that. Because that's where it's going, right? The talent is so good at that age range that you can have great teams.
The reason all those other leagues, we've seen the XFL, whatever other sports leagues that have come about, they don't succeed because they're not affiliated with the NFL. I mean, unless you get the NFL's stamp of approval, their blessing, you're just not going to succeed. The NFL definitely has a monopoly on the sport, and you can't fault them. We got 32 owners plus a commissioner that basically run the sports world, and it's true. So I just think that they just need to take it over right now. Let's end the NCAA. That's a whole other show for another day. Why the NCAA should just go away. But I would love to see the NFL play games every night. Every night, 7 days a week. 7 days a week.
Thursday, now you're into every day.
I think that we could just gradually work our way to 7 nights a week. NFL football.
A week, Monday through Sunday. We might have to expand teams.
Right. If the NFL has games on Tuesdays, maybe I'll stop watching Dance Moms or Real Housewives.
I personally cannot make that guarantee, but I will keep it on the I'll have my iPad going as well. Along the lines with Applebee's and disco music, like the reality TV, I will fully get hooked on anything now. I'm convinced my brain is mush. I will get hooked on anything. I was on an airplane and I watched a marathon of this reality show called Below Deck. where these employees on a yacht basically are waiters, and they just follow them around. They serve super swanky meals, and I was hooked. I'm totally hooked. Everything gets me now.
Right.
I can't be. Yeah, I have no standards. I watch anything.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's go to the week 1 awards. We each made some awards for the week. I'll get us started. First off, I have an honorable mention for the week 1 award. This one's called the Al Michaels Quote of the Game Award. I think it was in third quarter. Al Michaels says to Chris Collinsworth, a wise man once said, going into the draft without a quarterback is like playing chess without a queen. And Chris Collinsworth goes, oh. Like, oh, thank you, Al Michaels, for blowing the lid off needing a quarterback in the NFL. Somewhere along the lines, Al Michaels become our de facto grandpa who just rambles, but it sounds educated, and we all sort of nod our heads at it. So quote of the game from Al Michaels right there. Here's my first award. Week 1 first award, the checked out award. That goes to Aaron Rodgers. I already said before, he looks like he could fall asleep. He never looks at anyone in the eye. And if you ever saw the movie Time Cop, when they go back in time and the rookie cop is freaking out and Jean-Claude Van Damme is motionless, that's Aaron Rodgers, right? He has no emotions. I think he's a robot.
I think you say that because I don't think he cares anymore about Green Bay. I think he's gonna do a Brady type thing, and a franchise. The Buccaneers needed a quarterback at the time, and they think they're a quarterback away. So I could see Aaron Rodgers just gonna go through the motions this year, but he's gonna latch on with another team next offseason.
Okay, the checked out award. Second award, the High Hopes Award. This one goes to Joe Burrow. He lost the game, but he played good in that fourth quarter. But when he loses the game, he looks like he was going to cry. Like he was that invested into week 1. So high hopes for Joe Burrow. The Shock of the Day Award. I don't know if you saw this. Bill Belichick's Subway commercial. Did you see this commercial? This seems so out of character. Why did he do a Subway commercial?
I don't know.
He says 4 words in the whole commercial. Bill Belichick's Subway ads?
It's the Patriot way. What can I tell you?
Who has dirt on Bill Belichick? Because he would never do a Subway commercial.
I would have said Bob Kraft's got dirt on him, but apparently Bob Kraft's got his own skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, Bob Kraft should be doing Subway commercials. So that was the Shock of the Day Award. And then my last one, the Insult to Injury Award, that goes to the Bengals kicker and the Browns kicker. So the Bengals are going to kick the field goal, tie the game, go into overtime. Bengals kicker not only misses the field goal, but he injures himself, and he has to limp off the field. And then the great part is, they keep following the kicker. He's limping around. Nobody helps him. No one puts an arm around him to help him limp off. Insult to injury. And then I think it's the Browns who try to fake punt, and the guy's running, and he just gets clobbered and fumbles the ball. So Insult to Injury Award for the Bengals kicker and the Browns kicker.
Yep. The awards I went with is you remind me of last year's Jets award, and the winners of that award go to the Jets. They remind me of last year's Jets.
The Jets remind you of last year's Jets award.
The Jets remind me of last year's. Yeah, they won the award that they were named after from the year before.
Ooh.
And so they're still the Jets. They're terrible.
That's bad. That's a bad award to win.
They're terrible.
So is next week someone else eligible for the Jets award?
I like to think so, but it seems like they at least gonna have a stranglehold on this award for at least the next 8 weeks, as long as Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback. The award for take that stupid model look off your face while you're congratulating their team award goes to Mitch Trubisky. That guy was terrible, and it's a shame that he walked away with a win today. He
understand it.
He's there celebrating, and I know you're a quarterback. You're shaking hands. You're patting dudes in the ass, but he was terrible. And they won despite Mitch Trubisky. Okay.
Yeah. Another drop pass away from the Bears losing that game too.
Absolutely. So I think Trubisky needs to go away. It says a lot that they gave Foles they put him as a backup. Maybe they just didn't, weren't overly impressed with him break. But he's just Mitch Trubisky just is not a starting quarterback in this league.
How about over under? How many games does Mitch Trubisky start this year? Over under. Let's go 8 games. You think he starts more than 8 games? Under. You think we'll see Foles start multiple games?
For sure.
Okay.
No doubt.
I can see it. No doubt. Under 8 games. You heard it here.
Trubisky's got that shit-eating grin on his face. I just don't like it, okay? I'll just move on.
Move on. The Wipe That Look Off Your Face award to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
You know which award I always secretly hated in the NFL and like middle schools also is the Most Improved award. It's like, all right, the most improved goes to this guy. It's almost like a, hey, you sucked, but now you're okay.
That award, I'm going to hold off. Okay, I'm going to hold off to giving that award, and maybe we'll talk about it next week. But let's see what Ben Roethlisberger brings tomorrow at Monday Night Football. He's had a year off. He's definitely up there in age. As we saw that in that same quarterback class that he was drafted in, Eli Manning retired last year. Phillip Rivers is now with the Colts. So, definitely it's the end of their time. Okay. And so I'd like to see what Ben Roethlisberger brings tomorrow.
Yeah. Also thinking of my most checked out award, Aaron Rodgers, at some point, him and Eli Manning are in the same family of facial expressions. They never change. They have a good game, every third game. They each have won the Super Bowl, so you can't say they're not good, but they never have any facial expressions.
Terrible.
Do you have any more awards?
After watching Trubisky and then watching the Jets, no one else deserves an award. Those guys were just terrible. Terrible. I will like to say, I'm going to give you a corny one. Look out for that rookie, Hilaire out of Kansas City. I think he's going to be a real solid player in that Chiefs system. I think he's going to terrorize a lot of teams in the AFC this year. I don't think defenses are going to have much of an answer for him, given who his quarterback is. So just keep an eye on that kid.
Do you think? Here's one before we predict Monday night. Do you think Jason Garrett watched the Cowboy game tonight? Did he say? Do you think at some point he said, "Oh, you guys messed it up there. I would have messed it up 2 quarters ago. You guys are slacking."
I think that when Jason Garrett watched the game, and when he saw McCarthy go for it on 4th and fail, I think he looked in the mirror and said, "Wow, the force is strong with this one." And we're talking about the loser force, okay?
And started clap twice.
Yeah. He said, "Wow, game respects game." Okay, and I think Garrett would have respected that.
He would have respected that loss, the art of the loss.
Yeah. He said, "You went down like a champ."
All right, Monday night, first game. Pittsburgh at the New York Giants.
2 franchises that, were lost last year. I'm not too sold on Daniel Jones, and obviously with Roethlisberger, with all the experience he brings to the table, has Juju Smith-Schuster, James Conner. Can't not count that Jones has Saquon, but I just think that. Your whole offense is built around number 26 for the Giants. I don't think you're going to get very far, although I think he's a superstar. So I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow night.
Put your life savings on it, or just a dinner at Applebee's.
A dinner. I'll buy a Brutus.
Range of bets. Yeah,
I'll buy a Brutus. Man,
Brutus for Pittsburgh. Yeah, I go Pittsburgh too. I think Giants are going to stink again. I think Saquon Barkley has got to think if this is the team for him at some point this year.
Yeah, I think we'll see next year that he's not even going to ask for an extension. He's like, get me the hell out of here.
He just leaves.
Just leave.
He just walks out like an angry girlfriend. Late game, Tennessee at Denver. Why does Denver always get sweet games? Is it me or is the NFL love Denver?
They love Denver. They absolutely, because they do have a huge following. I will say that.
They really do. I think we just like mountains or something.
I think I don't know what it is. I don't know what I don't know why Denver all of a sudden became like you are the West Coast team when they're in Colorado.
They have become the West Coast team. Yeah, everybody loves Denver. We had a little Tebow explosion here and there. We have a fun Jay Cutler. People love Denver.
I don't get it, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos for the simple fact that I just don't like the Titans. But, if I can give one more award out, it's the game I don't give a shit about. And I'm probably going to go to bed and catch get caught up with Yellowstone tomorrow after I watch the first Monday night game.
This could be the go-to-bed game. You're right.
It's a go-to-bed game.
Looks good. All right, halftime. It's late. I'll catch the score tomorrow. Yeah, I disagree, though. I say Tennessee wins.
If Kansas City didn't win the Super Bowl last year, I think they would have been given this Monday night game to have Mahomes and, keep the ratings up. But obviously because, the defending champion has to play on Thursday, the opening Thursday, I just think this was a game that was just thrown together like, who cares?
This is a who cares, go to bed early game.
Who cares? Go to bed early. Do not, whether you're working from home tomorrow or you got to go in, do not stay up late. And be hurting in the morning to watch the Titans and Broncos play. These teams will not be playing in January. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and think if you're an East Coaster and this is the super duper late game, you have no interest in Tennessee or Denver. No one's going to watch this game.
Right.
So, yeah, I disagree. I think Tennessee wins, but I agree that you should go to bed early in this game. We're in week one. We're already going to bed early.
Well, why not? Why not?
All right, successful week one breakdown. What should we call this segment? I have a name potential.
Go for it. What is it?
Sunday Talk.
I like it. Let's go with it.
Okay, it's going to be the graphic for this week. All right, good talk. Omar Carmona, week one.
Pat, thanks for having me on, man. I look forward to hopefully doing this again.
Let's do it. All right, enjoy the games.
Take care, brother.
That's it, episode 1 of Sunday Talks with me and Omar. Week 1 in the books. Monday night coming up tomorrow. But look for the show every Sunday night. We talking NFL. And look for my regular show too, Running It Back. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for your feedback as usual. I'll see you soon.